Hey all, Chris Bassett here, and I'm going to do a solo tutorial on Veles Labyrinth, the Legend Lost sector. I'll be playing on my Hunter. Let's get into it. You'll find the labyrinth in the Forgotten Shore of the Cosmodrome. If you're having trouble finding the Lost sector, there's a few stipulations. You need to be high enough light level. I think this season it's 1500. You have to have completed the Lost sector at least once on normal difficulty. And it has to be the Lost Sector's turn that day in the rotation of legendary Lost Sectors. I'll put a link in the description to a site that shows the rotations and dates of when the Lost Sectors are legendary. So we'll fast travel to the Cosmodrome and then we'll hop on the Sparrow and take a ride, but first I'll go over my class build. For solo play, I like to play as the Nightstalker with the Mobius Quiver. Having access to becoming invisible is a great survivability tool. I like the Gambler's Dodge, that way you can dodge and reload, as well as the Vortex Grenade is the best damaging grenade. Stylish Executioner allows you to become invisible, and then Vanishing Step you become invisible when dodging. Echo of Remnants for a longer lasting grenade. Echo of Undermining, that way your grenades weaken targets. Echo of Persistence, that way invisibility lasts longer, and Echo of Obscurity, so finishers grant invisibility. So it looks like we have Barrier Champions and Unstoppable Champions. So you'll need to slot in the appropriate mod armor to deal with the champions. We'll have 4 weapons to choose from: scout rifles, hand cannons, bows, and pulse rifles. I keep my vault full of the best weapons, even if I don't use them that much. That way they're there when I need them. So I'll be using my Survivor's Epitaph, which is a hand cannon that drops from the Crucible. The main weapon I'll be using is the Trinity Ghoul, which is an arc combat bow. The Lost Sector has arc burn, so it's going to tear through enemies. And then for my heavy weapon, I'll be using the arc rocket launcher Hothead. My roll has Clown Cartridge, which allows you to have 2 rockets in the mag. I'll be using the Wormhusk Crown as my exotic headpiece, so I get health back. You may want to consider slotting in some arc damage resist. The Knights and the Wizards both use arc damage. Alright, so I'll go over a few other weapon options on the ride over. Arbalist is a good exotic for dealing with barrier champions. In the arc hand cannon department, you've got a couple options: the Cantata 57, as well as the Crisis Inverted. They're both dropping this season. Both of these drop from playing activities. However, if you didn't know, that you can buy weapons from both the Gunsmith and Zur. Check back with the Gunsmith often as his inventory rotates, and then Zur sells some pretty good weapons on the weekends. He had this arc bow, which I made sure to pick up. In the heavy weapon department, you're looking at arc rocket launchers. The Husgau is a good rocket launcher if you don't have the Hothead. And then the Tarantula is an amazing arc linear fusion rifle. I have field prep and backup mag on mine, that way I can store extra ammunition. The Grand Overture is this season's exotic weapon. It's a machine gun that fires heavy slugs, and then you can load a missile volley. It's actually pretty good at conserving your heavy ammo, because not only do the missiles do high damage, they don't cost anything. The Wardrift Coil is a pretty good arc rocket launcher. Only problem is you need the catalyst, the pinpoint guidance, to be unlocked. Otherwise, you basically have to be on top of the enemies. So here's the Lost Sector location. You can see the little drawing on the side of the boat. If this is your first time doing it, hop down inside and then go down in, complete it on normal. And if you have all the prerequisites met, you'll have the legendary version over here next to this beacon. So we got our loadout ready to go, and then we'll start the Lost Sector up. So in this Lost Sector, there's a few mechanics to be aware of. There's like symbols on the wall that you have to shoot in order to open up doors that get you further into the labyrinth. So for the first beginning part, just kind of clear out the ads. The bow does extra lightning damage, so make quick work of stuff. Then there'll be your first champion over here to the right. You can stun him with your bow or your scout rifle, and then rocket or machine gun him. You make sure to pop that shield as soon as he puts it up, because he'll start regenerating health. And then using a finisher on the tougher enemies makes your job a little bit easier, because they have extra health. So 10% of their health is actually a pretty big deal. There are these little traps all over the Lost Sector, so just shoot those. So there's the first symbol I was talking about. Shoot it off the wall, and then we'll go back to the door, and you'll see the door will unlock. And there we go. The next area, there's 2 of those symbols. So the door has 2 barriers to pass. So you need to find both the symbols I have heard that they're in random locations, so the Lost Sector has them in different spots depending on how many times you're playing. So the locations I show you may not be the same for you, but I think they're in the same general vicinity. And they only have a few places to spawn. The labyrinth isn't that big or complicated. I think it consists of like 6 different paths you can take, and you're looking for 2 symbols. So really, once you kind of are in the labyrinth, you should be able to find out where the symbols are at relatively easily. So from that first champion, I think we went down the hall and to the right, and that's the door. So you can see the symbols on the door look like a A and an O. So come to this room, shoot this trap out of the door. Now, Cursed Thrall do spawn in, and they do arc damage. So don't jump on top of them because they'll blow you up. But the regular Thrall, if you did want to put on like a melee protect on your armor, they do a lot of melee damage. So that's not a modifier this week, but there are some modifiers where it says does increased melee damage from enemies. And you want to throw that protection into your chest armor, otherwise they would one-shot you. There's the O symbol on the wall. You can see there's like some crystals on the ground, so keep your eye open for the crystals. Find that symbol there. And then here's another room with the trap and more Thrall. So just keep your distance, you got enough room. And you can see that the explosion from the Cursed Thrall actually blew up that symbol without me having to shoot it. That symbol would appear on the wall right there, but we already blew it up with the Cursed Thrall explosion. So we can go back to the door and unlock the door to the next room now. In this higher end game content, slotting in resistance mods into your chest armor can really help out depending on what kind of enemies you're facing. So yeah, if this is arc burn, and if it was like melee, extra melee, I think it's called brawler, you die from the thrall. So there's the door. Both symbols popped. Go ahead and run down this tunnel. Now, before you go all the way down the tunnel, pull back. There's a champion at the bottom, and so I just kill all the thrall that are coming to you and let them come up first. And then when the champion starts to come up, you just pull back, pull out of danger, and retreat a little bit, and let him come to you. And see, his cannon does arc damage, so it does quite a bit of damage. So we'll clear out the thrall, and then you can see he's coming towards us, and then we can just shoot him with a rocket, or if you got a machine gun, linear fusion, and then use your bow to pop the shield, the bubble, whatever, when he puts it up. So yeah, if you're a warlock, you could throw your rift up here. If you're a titan, put your barricade. As a hunter, I need to dodge, invis out of the way. So yeah, just mind your health bar. Watch out for damage, you'll be fine. But here he comes up here, and then we'll just double rocket. I don't double rocket. Shoot him with one rocket, and then he puts up the bubble, shoot him with the bow, and then just poke him in the eye with my arrow. So champion dealt with. We'll head down the tunnel. When we get to the bottom of the tunnel, there'll be an ogre to the left on top, and then a knight to the right. So I wouldn't fight from right here, because the knight has that boomer cannon, and he'll just keep shooting you right here, and it does arc damage, so it'll blast off your socks. So I'd run up to him and kind of do like a close range fight. So if you run up the stairs, then you can kind of head peek and then rocket him. But just watch out, because to your right, up there's an ogre will spawn, and they have that eye blast thing where they can kill you pretty quick with it. So we'll head peek, and then we'll shoot him with a rocket, and then bow to drop the shield, and then, can't reload. Oh, there we go. And double rocket, and he's dead. So pull back out of the way. I threw down a smoke bomb. You can throw a grenade, whatever. Deal with the thrall. And then now from this position, watch your left side for that ogre. And the ogre is unstoppable, so you'll need to use your hand cannon to stun him. If you pull out your hand cannon, aim down sights briefly, you'll load an unstoppable shot. You'll see the flash on the gun. Now it says unstoppable shot. Hit him once, and then he's stunned, and now we can double rocket. And dead. Then you'll make your way across the gap to where the ogre was. There'll be a couple knights over there, so use your arc bow or arc whatever you're running, because they have arc shields. So one nice thing is when you do break the arc shield, it kind of stuns them, staggers them, so they don't chase you. And these knights have swords, so they're more the melee style. You don't have to worry about the shots because they just come at you, basically. Now, the next threat would be that turret that shoots the purple Shrieker, I think it's called, and you want to deal with that quick because what it shoots kind of tracks you around corners, so you want to dip in and out of cover and deal high blast damage. So whether that's a rocket, linear fusion, sniper rifle, whatever you've got that deals real quick damage. So this is the boss room. You'll need to be mindful of the ads. So there are a couple solar shielded wizards, which we don't have any weapons to deal with solar because there's only two of these guys. There's one that spawns in the beginning and then one that spawns at the end. I think there is a trait on the new weapons this season called adaptive munitions. And what that does is that allows you to gradually increase your damage when you're shooting a shield. So say you don't have the right damage type, you know, we're fighting solar shielded wizards with arc damage. Adaptive munitions works in a way where it increases the damage with each shot. It kind of helps eliminate some of that resistance when you're dealing with shields. Basically, it just makes it easier to kill the enemies faster. So the strategy here is to keep killing ads until the boss comes out of the portal. Enemies will keep coming out of that portal until you kill enough of them, and then the boss will come out. At that point, you can use your super to, you know, basically one-shot the boss. If you are being overrun, feel free to pull back to back where those first two knights were at. Take cover behind things. Really, the safest place would be back, you know, far away, and then you can do chip damage to the enemies. Bows and scout rifles, which are some of the weapons, you know, that you can use for this lost sector, they have really good range stats and are most effective at a long distance. You've got 15 minutes to complete the lost sector before you time out, so you've got plenty of time. And there the boss spawns in, so I'm just going to immediately use my super, and he's dead. At this point, you could go up and collect the chest, which is up on the left-hand cliff near the top. I'm going to finish killing all the enemies. That way I guarantee the platinum, which will give me the best chance for an exotic reward. So yeah, once you see the notification, cache code acquired, then you can go collect the chest. And here it is up on the ledge. So good luck to everybody getting the exotics you want. Hey, check out this other video right here. There are links in the description to save money, so check those out. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If this was helpful, hit the like button. Thanks.